Hello, we are the Ministry of the Real Truth. We hope that you are enjoying your day or your evening, whether you are local or global. And first and foremost, before we dive into this particular video, we must stress that the information in this particular video is from known historical sources or ancient historians, and we will provide links below this video so that you can go have a look at the information yourself and then come to your own understanding of it, etc, etc. So then you can subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, or as soon as possible, on those. And you can share it with all your friends and say, hey, this guy went really deep, we didn't know that. It's all go back to the Ministry of the Real Truth, because you don't give us no fluff or anything like that. And look at this particular video, we never knew this stuff. Okay, oh my goodness. Yeah, you can go tell your Christian friends, your Jewish friends, the Islamic ones, and your neighbours, anyone that's interested in God, Christ, Christianity, the religions, etc. Okay, yeah, so we have to stress we are not anti-Semitic, or any other anti for that matter, race, creed, etc. We are just relaying information, right, on claims made over the centuries and today. That's what we're all about. The Ministry of the Real Truth is all about. And we stress in many of our videos, if not all of them, on this channel, we bring you all the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, or nothing but that truth. We never deal in or tell or on-sell fluff, hype, or straight out bulldunk, as you the people deserve to know the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that truth. We have in place a policy. Honesty is our best policy, and we strive long and hard to live or abide by that. We are strong believers in old chivalry, or chivalry, that a man's word should be taken as his word, and he must honour his word. Right? He must stand upon it, and he'll become one seen as honourable. Right? His word is his word. Don't forget, we are human, as all you out there are. No one is perfect. As we are human, as we are prone to making mistakes at times. That's what makes us human, not an alien or an animal. And we remind you of the old quote, to err is human, to forgive is divine. We strongly believe in that. At times we get comments that, or commentors, that try to say otherwise. We understand these people have views, opinions, and are free to express them freely as they choose, while many also have a hidden agenda or motive, right? And they could be defenders of their particular organised religion, beliefs, faith, etc., ingrained in them by their church, synagogue, temple, church leaders, group or cult, elders, rabbis, or imams. Many have giant egos, are full of pride. So we look at their statements, their comments, okay, and weigh up the cons and the pros. Is it true? Is it fact? Okay. And then we decide, okay, is it truth or is it a lie? And if it is, we expose them for their error. Okay. Many have giant egos, full of pride, start making assumptions about us, make up lies, tell lies about us, as a ministry, act like spoilt children or other, and get very angry when exposed, told that they're incorrect, etc., etc., we understand it's all a cognitive neuro problem. It's up here, right? So we recently found comments under one of our popular videos, so I thought we'd reply, in a mature adult fashion. Okay, keeping cool and calm as a cabbage in a fridge. Then set out to, through our personal research, to establish what we stated as established facts, as evidence, okay, as the truth, the real truth, the whole truth, nothing but that truth. Okay, no hype or fluff or other, or lie or other BS. Okay, we're not into that. That's why we're called the Ministry of the Real Truth, and we give you the real truth, the whole truth, nothing but that truth. But first we must ask, how truly reliable or reliant are ancient Jewish, Roman, Greek historians such as Josephus Flavius or Flavius Josephus, Tacitus, Herodotus, etc. Well, you would have to do your own personal research on them and others like them, and verify if they truly are reliable or truly not. So we created this video to establish the following as fact, evidence, proof, etc. Again, you need to do your own personal research and come to your own conclusions. Yeah, so then subscribe to us, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, add your comments down below in the comment section, and then share it for your friends, Christian, Jewish, Islamic friends, and tell them, well, this guy, wow, he really delved into the truth, and we didn't know this, so check it out, bros. Okay, so we're at this video here. This is got 250 views in May 10, 2021, right? A year ago, right? And it states here, after enjoying years as a popular journalist and poet, intellectual and freethinker, Gerald Massey, he's the author of this particular book, turned his vast studies in the field of Egyptology into a book of the beginnings, a bold statement that the original civilization lay in ancient Egypt. We came across it by accident, and we were interested in it because being New Zealand Maori, right? Okay, and it had some information there about the Maori language being very close to the Egyptian, or the nearest to the Egyptian. So these sort of you hear these whispers, these talks, there's rumours going around that the Maori people may have originated from Egypt. Supposedly some ancient carvings were found in the tombs or something like that. All this other stuff, but it needs to be you need to do personal research. It needs to be researched to establish that as fact. Okay, you provide the evidence, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we're looking at the Book of Beginnings, Volume 2, and it has like the Akkadian Hebrew, or the Akkadian, the Hebrew, Maori, and Egyptian words, Maori and Egyptian next to each other, and we compared them, like Ra being the sun in our language, and Ra being the sun god in the ancient Egyptian, or Kemet, right? The Kemetic language. Okay, so we looked at Volume 2 of a 2-volume set. The book attempted to recover and reconstitute the lost origins of the myths and mysteries, types and symbols, religion and language, with Egypt for the mouthpiece and Africa as the birthplace. This is Volume 2. This was Volume 2 of a 2-volume set, containing an attempt to recover and reconstitute the lost origins of the myths and mysteries, types and symbols, religion and language, with Egypt for the mouthpiece and Africa as the birthplace. Okay, I think we will see that. Okay, there's a lot of comments here. We had a alarm up here ticking in the background, annoying us for a while there, and we realised why. Is because the computer was used, put right underneath it, so it ticked. Okay, and it made the alarm tick, or was simply a fault in the rental agency's cheap alarm and cheap batteries, like the child paint our house green, brown, black, all these different colours one day, and they got scolded, and they never repainted it the colour it was before. Okay, yeah, that's how slack they are here in Auckland, right? Okay, so got another comment here in reply to a person saying, going on about what we've seen quite a while ago, an African guy, maybe a Nigerian or something, saying this name, using this name as God, right? He's got these new scriptures, all this sort of stuff, and he's hinting at that he's the new Christ because it says this and that in the Bible. Yeah, he's Christ, all this sort of stuff. So we're replying to this person's comment. We'll just see if we can find it. It's at the very beginning here somewhere. Because we put something about the Egyptians in a disease, and they named it, and the Israelites took on that name, just altered it a little bit. Okay. I can't see it here, but it was something like that. Okay, we'll open this one here a bit more. And they replied in a comment, "What's this trash you've been giving us?" It's not going to open for some reason. Don't know why it won't open. Okay, it's been difficult. Okay, can't see it. Oh, here we go. Okay, we'll have to relay it to you. Yeah, we put something that we found in this. Okay, look at this here. Basically says here in this book, section 22 of that book, Hebrew cruxes with the Egyptian illustrations. Appion was playing upon. Okay, we'll get up here. According to Jospehus, the Egyptian writer, Appion most strenuously insisted that the Jews were of Egyptian origin. He affirmed that when they were cast out of Egypt, they still retained the language of that land. He brings forward a proof which Jospehus, Flavius Jospehus or Joseph Flavius, irately repudiates. He debunks that Appion's account of the Jews was intended to satirize the worshippers of Sut, Typhon, At, lepers, outcasts, and religiously unclean. These, he says, were driven out, and as they were afflicted with the bubos, they rested on the seventh day and called it the Sabbath, after the disease. Appion was playing upon words. Jospehus asserts of him. He then assigns a certain wonderful and plausible occasion for the name of Sabbath, for he says, when the Jews had travelled a 6 days' journey, they had bubos in their groin, and on that account they rested on the seventh day. That thus they preserved the language of the Egyptians and called that day the Sabbath. For that malady of bubos in the groins was named sabbatosis by the Egyptians. Ask a person who speaks that Kemetic language. You can read it and speak it these days on the House of Consciousness, see if they, Shaka Amos or somebody like that, and see if that's actually correct. It's probably a Greek rendition of it. Okay, the grammatical translation of the word Sabbath either contains an instance of his great impudence or gross ignorance, for the words Sabbath and Sabbath are widely different from each other, and so forth. You can watch that video. We'll give you the link down at the bottom after this video. Okay, so yeah, basically this person replied, "What trash is this? Arose, right? Sacred day is a disease. Don't worry about it. He got this, right?" Okay, so we're not sure, but we got this feeling this person is a member of the US Hebrew Israelites, okay? Because this name here we found, went online and looked at it, Nigerian's video, and his claims, right? He claimed to be the next messenger from God or something like that, a prophet, and he went through the scriptures and he ended up saying that basically that he's Christ and all this sort of stuff, that Yahoo or Yahos, his name, all this sort of stuff, right? So we replied, because we'd seen the information, right? So we knew what we were talking about. We did the research prior, again he came across this. Yahos, bet you'd say it's in the Hebrew language. We, as a professor, Dr. James D. Franciscos, because we heard these many US Hebrew Israelites, especially a woman, Napa, on the House of Consciousness live stream, Sarnita's House of Consciousness, say something like Yahoo Washi Washi or Yahoo Woo Woo, something like that, right? That doesn't sound right. That sounds weird, you know. So we checked it out with this professor who has 2 doctorates, 2 PhDs in the well, we think it's a modern Syriac, and he admits, yeah, he teaches the Syriac Peshitta to his students, right? And Hebrew, the modern Israeli Hebrew. He's language with 2 doctorates or PhDs. We'll say it isn't by proving it isn't, right? Okay. Here's the word Yahoo Washi Washi, something like that, or Yahoo Woo Woo. Okay. They're not in the Greek. He verified it. We put a comment that he thought we were playing games, word games, and then he finally relented and said, yeah, you're right. That's not in the Hebrew. What the hell is that? It's not even Hebrew. Okay, in this book we've already read out, it's Appion's claim refuted by Jospehus, supposedly. Best to ask someone like Shaka Amos, the guy with the lock, don't touch my lock! You know that guy, you know, says that. You can't touch my lock, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, pretty nice guy at the end of the day. Best to ask someone like Shaka Amos who claims to speak the old Egyptian or Kemet language, or some other Egyptian, maybe that Reggie guy. Follower on House of Consciousness on YouTube Live. It reads in the video, it was named, in this book, it was named after the Sabbath. It was named after the Sabbath. It was named after the disease that broke out in Egypt, according to Appion, right? But it's refuted by Jospehus. Okay, keep that in mind. Tacitus, the Roman historian, also speaks of this plague that broke out due to pigs infected with leprosy. Okay, History's book 5, I think. Okay, so this guy replies, they lied about that. Also, Gabar, whoever that is, and Gabar knows that one that lost $3,000 in a bet and $5,000 again to Shaka Amos, right? And he wouldn't pay it. He walked off. That's Hebrew is like Gabar, I guess. Gabar is Abraham's great grandfather. He was at the tower. This is the Tower of Babel. When the language Shapar Barora was confounded, he was the only one who walked away speaking the pure language of Yahoo. This is what was hidden from the OMPP. That what that really is. But not anymore. You don't know. We don't know about the Thora. Okay, he's probably someone's added a H there. And the Thioda, whatever that is. The Book of Moses, we found that, the Colburn, okay, which is supposed to have been carried to Scotland by Jesus' uncle, who had tin mines in England, Joseph of Arimathea, right? Or somebody else had carried it there. And then he got hold of it, or he found it or something, and he built the Glastonbury Abbey and stored it in there, and then later on it was burned to the ground, something like that. Okay, we've already read all that. That's the Colburn, and we did our personal research, and it's claimed as fraud, a fake. Yeah, that's 1 or 2 or 3 persons' opinions. Okay, we've done a video covering that. Probably put it at the end screen, on the end screen. Okay. So you don't know about the Book of Moses or Yahoo in the Book of the Prophets. So he knows the lies, and there's nothing you can say to me that will matter. Okay, because he's got a bit of an ego. Okay, and an agenda, etc., a motive. Okay, so a bit of chuckle there. Okay, are you Hebrew Israelite? That's the impression I got, right? And I asked him, ever heard of and used the name of God Yahoo Wahi Wahi or Yahoo Woo Woo? And then I asked him, give me the link to your books, the ones that he said that I don't know of, right? You boast of so I can read them for myself. He didn't. It's been about 2 months or something. How long has it been? Yeah, 2 months ago. He still hasn't given them because he doesn't have them, right? They probably don't exist. So I said, give me the link to your books you boast of so I can read them for myself. Right, I can do a review, a critique of them. What century or age were they written in? Were they pre-800 BC? Because the ancient original Assyrian Aramaic, Lishana Artica, of the Kitab Esrat, the sister language of the Kitab Ivri, or the original ancient, very old Hebrew, right, was copied. The Old Testament was copied by monks and scribes by hand, right, around 800 BCE in Ur-Hai, Edessa. So then I asked if they really exist, his books he said I've never read, I might be able to find them and critique them, right? Because that's what we do at the Ministry of the Real Truth. Anyone says, oh, we've got these ancient manuscripts from, you know, you don't know them, you don't know this, it's not for you, all this sort of rubbish. Well, can we look at those, check them out, right? Because people write books in 1789 making out that they're Paul or St. John or something like that, you know. All that sort of stuff. So I asked, do you know of the Lishana Artica Cyprea, the Kitab Asher, or the Asheri, or the Kitab Avri, or even the Kitab Hotep? Because this one, we read that Moses might have learnt that from his father or grandfather while in Egypt, or he could have learned from the Egyptians, because the Shaka Amos on his introduction of his video it always says Hotep, right? So this could be an Egyptian word, so it could have been originally from the Egyptians. Okay, so I needed info on the last one, this one here, Kitab Hotep, has read about it but can't find any great info on it or about it. Okay, can't find it online. So I said, what is this horse manure? If it's true, prove it with evidence of ancient texts, horse manure of this Ya'o, etc., etc. If it's true, prove it with evidence of ancient texts or even manuscripts. Verify all as below, right? Gebar, this is his comment. Gebar is Abraham's great grandfather. He was at the tower when the language Shapar Borara, what the hell's that, was confounded. He was the only one who walked away, speaking, the only one. There's thousands and thousands of people there working on that tower, and he's the only one who walked away speaking the pure language of Ya'o. The only one. Okay. This is what was hidden from OMPPP. What the hell's that? Okay, but not anymore. And this makes this boast. You don't know about the Torah and the Thyatira, the Book of Moses. It's the Colburn, we reckon. Okay, we've done a video on it. Or Ya'o in the Book of the Prophets. Okay, so I put a comment here following. It sounds very similar to the Mormon or Latter-day Saints claim of the Nephites being also at the tower and having manuscripts saying this and that, and they split. There was a small division of the tribes of Israel, with House of Israel, and they split. A certain family, then they went on a boat, they went to the Americas, conquered these Indians or something, and converted them to their religion, and etc., etc.